Tragic details surrounding Fox News host Ainsley Earhardt are not rooted in scandal or professional collapse, but in a series of deeply personal hardships that unfolded largely away from the glare of television cameras, shaping her public composure in ways viewers rarely recognize. Earhardt rose to prominence through perseverance, becoming one of the most recognizable faces on Fox News, yet her journey was marked by profound loss early in life, including the sudden death of her father following a brief illness, an event she has openly described as devastating and formative. The experience forced her into emotional resilience at a young age, instilling a sense of responsibility and discipline that later defined her on-air presence. As her career advanced, personal tragedy continued to intersect with public visibility, particularly during her marriage and eventual divorce, which occurred under intense media scrutiny. While Earhardt maintained professionalism on screen, the dissolution of her marriage represented a deeply painful chapter, complicated by public speculation and the pressure to project stability while privately navigating emotional upheaval. She has spoken candidly about the loneliness that can accompany high-profile success, especially when personal struggles unfold in parallel with professional expectations that leave little room for vulnerability. Adding to this emotional burden was the challenge of becoming a single mother, a role she embraced fully while balancing demanding early morning broadcasts and the relentless pace of cable news. Earhardt has acknowledged that the responsibility of raising her daughter alone reshaped her priorities, often requiring sacrifices that viewers never see, including missed rest, emotional exhaustion, and constant self-scrutiny. Her faith became a cornerstone during this period, not as a public performance, but as a private anchor that allowed her to endure moments of uncertainty and self-doubt. Unlike many media figures whose controversies dominate headlines, Earhardt's struggles were quieter, yet no less impactful, unfolding behind carefully maintained professionalism. Industry insiders have noted that maintaining composure during emotionally charged news cycles while managing personal grief is among the most demanding challenges in broadcast journalism, particularly for women, who face heightened expectations regarding appearance, tone, and emotional restraint. Earhardt's ability to remain composed amid such pressures contributed to her reputation as steady and reliable, but it also masked the personal toll exacted by years of emotional compartmentalization. She later reflected that grief does not disappear simply because one appears functional, and that prolonged strength can itself become isolating. Public perception often frames television hosts as insulated from ordinary pain, yet Earhardt's story illustrates how visibility can intensify hardship rather than diminish it, as personal missteps or moments of vulnerability are magnified and preserved in public memory. Despite these challenges, she resisted cynicism, choosing instead to frame her experiences as lessons in endurance rather than sources of bitterness. Her openness about loss, divorce, and single parenthood has resonated with viewers who recognize the quiet courage required to rebuild while remaining publicly composed. What makes Earhardt's story tragic is not downfall, disgrace, or controversy, but the cumulative weight of private grief carried beneath a polished public image. Her journey underscores a broader truth about media figures, that strength on screen often conceals unseen emotional labor, and that resilience frequently emerges not from absence of pain, but from the decision to continue despite it. In acknowledging her hardships without sensationalism, Earhardt reframed tragedy not as spectacle, but as a deeply human experience that shaped her character, perspective, and empathy, leaving audiences with a fuller understanding of the woman behind the anchor desk.